Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. And for those who are new here, hello, welcome. I'm so happy to have you all here today. Today's message is one that I believe will encourage you. The title is, God Can Handle Your Storm. He will bring you through it. Listen, as children of God, we will face storms in our lives. These could be storms in your finances, health, relationships, career, ministry, or your family. Whatever the case may be, the good news is this. God can handle any storm that you're facing. In fact, He'll bring you through it. This is a promise from God Himself. So in this video, I'd like to share 3 truths that you need to remember whenever you're going through a storm. And I pray that these truths will help you to trust God even more. Now, the first truth that you must remember when going through a storm is this. Storms cannot stay where God is. Look at Psalm chapter 147, verses 6-7, and it says, "Blessed the Lord, O my soul. Forget not all His benefits, all His miracles, all His wonders that He has done, who forgives us all our iniquities and heals all our diseases." Now, the word forgives in Hebrew is nasa, which means to lift up. Imagine, if you can, someone who is owing you money and owes you a lot of money, and they come to you and say, "Hey, you know what? Forget about that debt. I'm writing it off. It's gone." That's exactly what God is saying here in this verse. Forget about your debt. I have paid it and I have erased it. Listen, sometimes when we're going through difficult times in our lives, it's easy for us to focus on what we don't have, what we need, what we desire, and forget what God has already done in our lives. So right now, take a moment and just remember all that God has done in your life. Remember how He delivered you from that addiction, that bad relationship, that toxic situation. Remember how He helped you when you didn't have a job, when you were sick, or when no one else believed in you? As you remember all that God has done, declare it. Say it out loud. Say it with confidence. Say, "God did this for me. He can do it again." Once you begin to meditate on all that God has done, there is no room for fear, anxiety, doubt, or worry. You see, whenever we shift our focus from God's promises and we fix our eyes on the problem, then we lose focus of what God can do. But the moment we remember all that God has done, all that God can do, then we realize that we serve a powerful God who is able to handle any situation. You know, some people would look at Goliath and say, "No man can win this battle. No man can defeat him. We need a warrior. We need a hero." But David looked at Goliath and said, "No man can defeat him, but the God that I serve can do it." David knew who he served. He knew what God could do, because he had seen God deliver Israel time after time. So if you're going through a storm right now, remember this. Storms cannot stay where God is. So let's give God praise for all that He has done in our lives. Now, the second truth that you must remember when going through a storm is this. Storms come to test your faith. Look at James chapter 1, verse 2, and it says, "Consider it pure joy, therefore, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds." Now, the word trials here in this verse is from the Greek word parasmos, which means a test, proof, or trial. So James is saying, look, when you go through a test, a proof, or a trial, consider it pure joy. And the reason why he's saying that is because, listen, anytime a storm comes into your life, there's always a bigger purpose behind it. You see, when Joseph was thrown into prison, there was a bigger purpose behind it. David was being chased by King Saul, there was a bigger purpose behind it. When Israel was being oppressed by the Egyptians, there was a bigger purpose behind it. You see, every storm comes with an opportunity to increase your faith, to strengthen your faith. Every trial is a chance to prove your faith. So instead of getting discouraged and complaining, bitter and murmuring, thankful and praising God becomes your lifestyle. Whenever a storm comes to test your faith, instead of being afraid, become amazed. Instead of being fearful, become thankful. Instead of doubting, choose faith. And instead of losing hope, hold on to the Word of God. Now, the Bible tells us that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So when you're going through a storm, use this time to increase your faith. Allow this season to stretch your faith, prove your faith. May your faith not just survive the storm, but may your faith thrive in the storm. Now, the third truth that you must remember when going through a storm is this. Storms can't last forever. Look at Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1-15. And it says, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Listen, seasons change. Winter turns to spring. Summer ends and fall begins. Morning turns to afternoon and night falls. Nothing stays the same forever. Everything changes. Even your situation will change. The sun may be hidden behind the clouds today, but tomorrow it will shine brightly again. Right now, you may be going through a difficult season, but I want you to remember that seasons change. Your situation will change. Your circumstance will change. So never allow yourself to feel sorry for yourself. Never allow yourself to get bitter or murmur or complain. No. Instead, keep your head up, because this too shall pass. As long as you live, there is still hope for a brighter future. As long as you believe in God, there is still hope for a miracle. So never give up, never quit, never walk away from God. Instead, hold on to God because He is able to bring you through it. You see, the truth is this: we're going to face many storms in our lifetime. We're going to face many problems, challenges, difficulties, heartaches, and pain. But the good news is this: we don't have to go through these storms alone. We have a friend who is always by our side, and He is called Jesus. He's a friend who sticks closer than a brother. So whenever you're going through a storm, remember these three truths. Truth no. 1. Storms cannot stay where God is. So focus your attention on God and His Word. Truth no. 2. Storms come to test your faith. So use this season to increase your faith in God. And truth no. 3. Storms can't last forever. So don't give up. Hold on to God because He will bring you through it. So I ask you today, what storm is God helping you to go through? Let us know in the comment section below. And also, I want to encourage you to share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. And if you haven't subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. And if you've been blessed by this message, I invite you to give us a thumbs up. To all my subscribers, viewers, and supporters, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate each and every one of you. To God be the glory. Till next time, everyone, stay safe, stay blessed, and take care.